We're here to talk through this consecutive pair Sudoku. One thing to keep in mind with this style is situations where you have lots of cells that are connected and therefore you need to almost fit in a whole set of digits. That actually puts large limits in the grid. In this puzzle's construction, just this digit 4 forces a 1, 2, and 3 in these cells because we need 5 consecutive digits in this set. And one consequence of that is at the start, there's really one spot left for a 1 in this whole group. Here's a 2, 3 pair. The middle of the 5 through 9 series is going to be here, and then we can do something like this, which is write these options for the remaining digits in these cells. But while that's really looking in this group, it's good to sort of follow these chains out. So if this is a 7 becoming an 8 becoming a 9, or 7 becoming a 6 becoming a 5, the options here are only 5 and 9, and the 9 is already given below in this column, and so as a result, pretty quickly at the start of this puzzle, we can end up writing all of these into the grid. We actually don't yet know if this is a 4 or a 6, but from this start we can work back across the top, and now we have a situation where I see 2 1s, I need to place another one here. There's a 1 with this dot, it's going to need a 2 is already in this column, so I get a 1 here, and this will quickly fill out the rest of the top set. 3, 4 is going to need to continue 5 and 6. 2 is up here. This can go one of two directions. This can be a 5 or a 7 and then a 4 or an 8. But one thing we'll see is that this cell here has only one option left for it. That makes this an 8, 9. And once we know an 8 is up here at the top of this column, we can also pretty quickly fill in the remaining digits here. Let's just finish out parts of the top that we now know. The 2s. Force this 2, 3. This 3 has just one option left for it because there's already a 2 there. The rest of this isn't going to be solvable right now. The next thing we can do is look at these long chains, 6 total cells, but they have some options to go up or down across these boulder borders. This cell in particular looks quite limited based on the digits already around it. Only a 3 or 4 are left for it. One thing to note is if this is a 3, one way it could go is 4, 5, but a 4 is already here. If this is a 3, the other way could go is 2, 1. 1 is already in this box, and so when you have just 2 options for any cell in a chain, thinking about the consequences in the whole chain is one way to quickly make progress. Underneath this 4, the only option left is a 3. Here, a 4 is already taken, the only option left is a 2. This is a 1 or a 3, we don't know which yet. Thinking over here, this could be 3 and then 2, but the 2 is going to cancel, so 5, 6 is the way this goes. The 3s leave this. 2, the last 9. I see 2 2s, so I'm going to place the last one. This up here looks like it's a 6, 7, 6, 7 pair. The remaining digits in this area are 5, 1, and 3. It's the only spot for a 5. This is the only option for that cell. Get this. The 1s work together to give us a 1, 8, and that will quickly flow out and give us the set of digits. 6 can't come up to be 7, so the next one in this chain is a 5. This can be 4 or 6. And then the 5 is already in the space, so the next digit in this one is a 3 or a 7. Here is a cool deduction that you may see quickly or it may take a little more time to do, but this cell already contains a 6 or a 7, I don't know which means I can't take this option which has both a 6 and 7 show up. That would eliminate all options from those cells. So what we have to do is this 4, 3. We're now going to move over to the left with some forced numbers. This is a 6, 9 option. What's left here is 4 and 8. What I really want to be able to do is move into these spaces. There's a 7, 8. These are a pair now with the 8, which forces an 8 up to the top cell. 8, 9, 9, still thinking about 9, still thinking about 9. Get over to here, I have a 9, looks like 2 and 1. This far right is 4, 5, 6, so 4, 5 is already there. So do this, we're just going to play a relay chain, get some of these digits. What we'd see now is that a 5 has to go in here, which means the 6 also has to go in and touch the consecutive dot. That will help us finish these last numbers up top. We place the 7, so let's keep it in attention, get the 7 to an 8, play ping pong, get over here, 8, 4, come back to the right with 4, 5. We now just have to finish out the remaining sets. We've now placed 2 of the 9s, so the last 9 forces a 2 down. 1 up here, 1, 2, 7. So not actually, in my evaluation, too hard of a puzzle, but it probably is harder than the puzzle that follows it in this week. But with this style in particular, and we haven't had too many examples of it, the use of these chained consecutive pairs clues is very, very helpful, and particularly just mentally mapping how some of them play out. Fitting a whole chain of digits is tough. We, for instance, saw down here that in the middle stage of the puzzle, this had a 3, 4 option. The 3 had no potential chains, and the 4 only had 1 option for a chain. And so to get 4, 5, 6 quickly placed in the grid was a way to really break into the middle. In the same way at the very start of the puzzle, seeing that you need a 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 7 can't go 7, 8, 9 over here. That was a quick way to get this corner and ultimately the whole top. So hope you saw a little bit of the approach to take with consecutive pairs puzzles. This year we'll have a lot more Sudoku on the site and in some of our books, and we'll be featuring consecutive pairs as one of those styles. So I hope you learned something from the talk through, and we'll see you again soon.